Okay, here's our new project today. We have a couple of new Bilstein A6 Camper Advanced Struts. Here's the number for them. Here's the directions. And here's the motorhome ready to go. And this is a DIY project by Steve, with me as an assistant and Nick as a supervisor. Okay, the emergency brake is on and the wheels are chocked. Now Steve's placing an extra jack stand underneath for added security. I'm going to try to reposition. Okay, one of the first steps is from the inside to loosen up the nut and the little Allen centering bolt, would it be, on the top of the existing strut. To get there, you have to go through the floorboards inside, removing the car mats and removing this trim piece. This is where the jack and all the extra equipment are stored on a Winnebago View. It's what, a little tool pouch? So that's a little wheel cover.
Yep, a little wheel cover.
A little different than the big tires we used to have on our big Safari Serengeti. Those were what, 22.5s?
Yep.
A little different working on here.
A little bit lighter.
Yeah. So this device in here is the strut, the bottom portion of it. You want to point to it, Steve? This thing.
This is the strut.
So we have to undo these two bottom nuts. But we have to be careful this hub piece doesn't fall down and yank on the tire sensor cord.
And we're going to remove that.
So we'll remove the plug end
Sensor.
of it.
There.
Oh, okay. So he's got that unplugged now. But the other end is the part that you really don't want to mess with. And you don't want the strut to come down and yank on that wire.
Correct.
So we'll get to that in a little bit.
Ready?
Yeah. Well, that came off pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Before he pulls the second bolt out, he's going to brace this whole hub and brake device to keep it from pulling down or dropping down. hold it up into place so it doesn't swing down and yank on that wheel sensor cord. Correct?
Correct. There, I think that's pretty good. We'll take this out. Rest of the way.
So now both bolts are out.
Yep.
But the strut is still held into place inside on the mount. Okay, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit closer here. If that doesn't bother where you're working, Steve.
That should be fine.
Okay, so now it's my job on the inside?
Yeah, all you have to do is loosen that nut.
Okay.
And then we
See, this is where Karen gets to help. So now in here, in the inside, I'm going to put this Allen wrench in the middle of that bolt. And Steve's going to come and tell me what I'm going to do.
All you need to do is unscrew it the rest of the way.
Okay. I might be able to do it with my fingers. Oh, wow. Yeah, I can do it with my fingers. Okay, you tell me when.
Go ahead. Take it off.
Okay, I can take out that Allen wrench. And I'm going to take off the bolt or nut and this round washer. And underneath, is there anything else to take off?
Nope.
That's it. Okay, so now we're going to watch the strut on the outside camera come out, but we're also going to watch it from inside on the mount. I see it wiggling. There it goes. I see it wiggling. There it goes. Through the mount hole. Now we did order new mounts and new boots at the same time, but these look to be in really good condition. So we're going to opt to just continue using our original pieces, correct?
Correct.
Wheel sensor. And there he goes. And it's out.
Yep.
Okay. That's it. Extraction. Is that like a dentist pulling a bad tooth?
Yeah, it's a heavy one too.
Yeah. The original equipment on the motorhome. That's probably got about 46,000 miles on it. Okay.
Okay, here it goes.
Okay. Very easy to push. It's not taking you a lot of effort, is it, dear?
No, not really. Not
It's
much
basically a shot strut.
Yeah, she's pretty
I don't
tight.
even know what brand those are.
The original equipment.
Yeah. Okay, so here is the Bilstein A6 Camper Advanced that we ordered. And here, let me zoom in on the part number. Lift it up, please. There we go. And I'll put a link in the description below. Okay.
Ready?
Ready. 66-year-old man giving it all his strength and
That's
effort. That's enough. Okay. So, very big difference between the two. Thank you for the demonstration, Steve.
You're welcome.
Back to work.
Okay.
Okay. So let's see the condition of the boot.
The boot's good and
Yeah.
flexible. And
So even though we ordered new ones and new mounts, we're going to reuse what we have.
yeah. We didn't know what kind of condition they were.
Yeah, and being that there's only 46,000 miles on here, I think we're okay. So he put the boot over the top of the new strut.
Mm-hmm.
Ta-da!
Yeah.
And now we're going to watch the magic of replacing it.
Yeah. Trying to get it in here. Gotta get it straight up into this
So do I need to
bushing.
do anything on the inside?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You gotta collapse this a little bit to get it up into the opening.
That's quite the feat. Would it help to pull it down with a strap or a lever?
I gotta get in that hole though.
Oh, there, now it's lined up
Yeah.
with the hub. And he's compressing it again to get it lined up above in the mount. Steve uses a little drift pin to kind of guide it into the hole first. So you can get the one lined up, then you can get the bolt in the other hole, correct?
Correct.
Okay, the top of the strut is going to come through this mount hole. See where it's coming up? It's coming up, 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 up. Okay. Yeah, oh yeah. I have about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches. Put the nut on. First I have to put on this disc. And then we have a brand new nut.
Get it started, it's fine.
Yeah, I'm started. I'm going down to about where that disc is. Okay. The disc goes with the flange piece upward, correct? I think that's the way I saw it. He said I had it right. I thought that's the way I took it apart. Good. Okay, now Steve is going to put those 2 bolts back into place.
Let me put the camber bolt in.
Okay.
Camber bolt.
That's called a camber bolt. And when we go for an alignment tomorrow morning, that's where they'll adjust the caster and camber for the alignment. And that's the proper thing to do after you've changed struts and shocks. So we have an appointment at Mercedes Benz tomorrow morning at 7:30.
Oh, there it goes.
And these are new camber bolts that we purchased and ordered, correct?
Yep.
And they need to be torqued to a certain amount.
129 pounds.
Okay, 129 pounds. And there is a little washer disc there that has a notch to make sure it's in the exact right position, although they'll be changing that tomorrow. We want it to be safe to go for a test drive and to drive all the way down to Appleton.
Tighten up this bottom one.
Now he's tightening the bottom one.
I have to torque them yet.
Yep, that's just to tighten it.
Yep. Now we'll put this.
Clip back onto that little ledge.
Yeah.
And slide on. There we go.
There it goes.
Good.
And it gives it room in the back side.
Yeah, a little more clearance.
Yep.
That's good. Because if you mess that up, the original part from Mercedes is $120. So we don't want to mess that up.
Okay, now we need to tighten the nut inside.
Okay.
There it goes.
This is snugging the top of the strut tight to the mount. This is located by the foot well area, or the foot area of the passenger side. Like I said, we've already done the driver's side, so that's all put back together.
Okay, I'm gonna torque the lower bolts on the strut, and it's at 129 foot-pounds according to Bilstein. Okay, I had the nut is a 21 millimeter nut on the lower strut socket, and we want to torque that up to 129 foot-pounds, which I have the torque bar set at that. So we're just going to work on that, get it torqued. And there we have it, all torqued on the lower bolt. I'm not going to be able to do. So we'll just have to crank it as tight as we can.
They'll be adjusting it tomorrow.
Yeah. They'll be adjusting it tomorrow when they do the front end alignment. Because I can't turn the outer part of the bolt because it'll turn the cam. So just crank this guy down as hard as I can, and they'll have the proper tools and adjustment for that. There. Okay. And that's it for torquing.
Okay, now we're going to put the tire back on to give it more stability, and that way he can tighten up the inside top mount bolt of the strut. Now, what do these get torqued to?
140 foot-pounds. Now we'll lower the...
And we are almost done. We planned this really well because this is the morning and the sun is coming up over the garage. And we wanted to get this while we were still in the shade. Look how close that sunshine's coming.
It's all torqued.
Okay, so our last step is to go back inside and tighten up the top bolt.
And I think that's as tight as it's going to get.
And the Allen wrench in the top is to prohibit the strut, or prevent the strut from rotating, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
So we're done.
Now we can put everything back and go for a test drive.
Yep.
And here was our reason for getting it done in the morning, because the sunshine is coming along over the garage and we're that close to the front tire. Ha! Good job, dear.
So before we started this project, which I forgot to put on camera, is I measured from the ground to the bottom of the license plate, and it happened to be 14.5 inches, 14 and a half inches. So I wanted to see what the difference in the struts would be, and people were saying they were going to be lower or they're going to be higher. And of course we haven't moved it yet either, so that may make a difference, I don't know. But let's take a look.
Was that what before?
14 and a half.
And now we're up to almost 16.
15 and 3/4.
Wow.
So we gained an inch and a quarter.
Now we'll have to recalibrate our Level Mate Pro.
Yeah, and lights are going to be higher.
Yeah, our headlights will need to be readjusted. We don't drive very often at night, but
And also, I don't know, once you drive, that it may settle down too, so we may have to double check that.
Okay, here we go on our test drive. See how it works. This is new shocks in the back and new struts in the front. There's our backup camera. We don't have a trailer on right now. Go buy a house. Wow, one rock. No repeated back, forth, 3 times. Oh, is that a difference? Of course, we'll be going tomorrow for the alignment. Let's see how this handles over the railroad tracks up ahead. How does it feel for handling or steering?
Right now it seems pretty much the same without any wind or trucks going by.
Oh, okay.
Can't tell any difference.
Okay, here we're coming up to our railroad tracks by our house, and we know they're pretty rough railroad tracks. We went over them yesterday with our Kia, and we noticed that they're even bumpier than usual, that they are deteriorating. Let's see how this goes. Wow, not bad. Yeah, and those are really rough tracks. So what do you think? Let's see. When we go around a corner, we're not getting a lot of bob and sway, are we?
No. Pretty firm.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a winner.
Yep, I believe so.
Well, here's another motorhome maintenance job well done by Stevie-O, my darling mechanic. He saves us many hundreds upon hundreds of dollars in labor because he does all of our work ourselves. He researches the parts, figures out the best place to buy them, scours for the deals. You can look at the camera.
Oh.
And he does all the work. And he has a lot of know-how. His background, ever since he was a young kid, he always tinkered with motors and small engines. Worked at a gas station in his teen years and did mechanical work there, as well as handled all the heavy equipment at the university, and from there all of the facilities maintenance throughout the years, including everything right down to locksmithing and pool chemicals and soccer field striping, right up to large construction projects and handling a lot of things for the state of Wisconsin. His last couple of years were spent being the facilities maintenance advanced supervisor of High Cliff State Park, where he was basically in charge of everything, and if anything broke, he had to fix it. So doing something like a set of struts on a motorhome really is no big deal for him. But I wanted to film it step by step to maybe help encourage someone else that maybe with a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of tools that they could do it themselves too and save hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars of labor. And being smart and safe while he works on things like chalking the tires, putting on the emergency brake, having backup plan and backup tools, backup jacks and devices to help make the whole project go easier. He's my wonderful Stevie-O, and I appreciate him so much. There's no way that we could do this amount of RVing and traveling with the added expense of all the maintenance if we had to have it all jobbed out. So again, thank you, Steve, for doing a good job. I really appreciate you.
Well, thank you. But your assistance and help is very critical to being successful in our journey through these projects.
Oh boy. Well,
So,
thank you. I guess you're doing that because you want a really good supper tonight, huh?
yeah, maybe.
Anyhow, so here's closing out Stevie-O and Karen and little Nick, the supervisor. Hey, Nick. He made sure the job went really well.
Let us know when things went right.